From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hi, this is Hannah Mordeau, and this is your News 8 Daily for Wednesday, July 10th. We have scattered showers this morning from the remnants of Hurricane Beryl through central Indiana, but we're going to switch out the precip for wind. We're going to have wind gusts that could be up to 40 to 45 miles per hour today. Could even see some wind advisories, so keep that in mind for a windy Wednesday. Your statewide news network covers Posey County, where people are dealing with damage from one of at least two tornadoes to hit the state as the remnants of what was Hurricane Beryl arrived. Video from Nick and Lorna McElroy shows the twister spinning over Mount Vernon. Authorities say the storm damaged a warehouse, knocked a train off the tracks, and brought down power lines. There are no reports of injuries or deaths. The National Weather Service also confirms a tornado touchdown in Gibson County. The radar image from the spot where it hit just southwest of Owensville is staggering to look at. There are also no reports of injuries from this one. The search for three missing Indianapolis children ends in Texas. The children are safe. Police say they were taken by their biological parents, who are now in custody. The kids were rescued after a standoff. News 8's Hernan Gutierrez has the latest information.
Well, according to the Texas Department of Public Safety, that standoff started at a motel in Pearsall, Texas. That's about 100 miles away from the Mexican border. According to police on the scene, they said that the children did not appear to be harmed before they were rescued. Documents obtained by News 8 showed the non-custodial parents of the three children, Willie Terrell and Jessica Officer, now face 3 charges of interference of custody here in Indiana. This is video from our affiliate KABB in San Antonio that appears to show the mother being taken into custody. Police on the scene say it all ended after a long standoff at that motel.
So what I can tell you and what I can confirm is that the Texas Department of Public Safety was handling a barricaded subject here at the Rio Frio Hotel. This has been ongoing since approximately 3 p.m., early 3 p.m. After negotiations, the subjects surrendered peacefully.
As we reported last week, a silver alert was issued for the 3 children, Frankie, Queen, and King Terrell, on Friday. Yesterday, police told News 8 the parents took the children after an approved visit. The grandparents received custody of the 3 children earlier this year after the biological parents faced neglect allegations. The grandfather tells police that they were all at a restaurant last Thursday for a visit. Police say when the grandfather went to the restroom, Terrell and Officer left with the children. IMPD says law enforcement then used cell phone data to track the family to Texas. So far, the parents are only facing charges of interference of custody. We are still looking to learn when the parents will be brought back here to Indiana. Reporting in the newsroom, I'm Hernan Gutierrez, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Now to I-Team 8. Former Colts player Daniel Muir and his wife, Kristen, are fighting the court ruling to hold them in jail without bond. It comes as the two face domestic battery and obstruction of justice charges after their 14-year-old son, Bryson, went missing last month. The judge in the case denied the couple's bond, saying they were a flight risk because they did not cooperate with law enforcement in the search for their son. But their attorney argues that the judge did not use specific evidence to prove they are a flight risk or a danger to the community. Their attorney also argues that the judge should have followed the bond ruling for the county, which is a $5,000 surety or a $1,000 cash bond for a low-level felony of domestic battery. The 2-year search for a missing Indiana child has ended not far from where it started. State police say a boy from Mooresville is alive in Monroe County. News 8's Adam Pinsker breaks down the case.
State police found the boy inside a Bloomington home Tuesday afternoon, 2 years and 1 month after he was last seen at a home in Mooresville. That's where his biological father was supposed to visit him. Brian's biological mother is now facing charges. 2 years after Deborah Ryan took her son, then 3-year-old Stephen Bryan, and left town, state police caught up with her along with Deborah's boyfriend at a home in northern Monroe County.
They went up, knocked on the door. They knew people were inside, but they wouldn't come to the door, so they applied for a search warrant. And when they executed the search warrant, they found all 3 individuals inside.
Mooresville Police Chief Kerry Buckner said Stephen is not hurt and has been turned over to the Department of Children's Services. Deborah is charged with interfering with the custody of a child and failure to appear.
You know, over the last 2 years, we spoke to Deborah Bryan's attorney and said, hey, let's just do a Zoom call. Let's make sure the kid's okay and, give us all a little peace of mind. And no cooperation.
In August of 2022, a silver alert was issued for Bryan's boyfriend Caleb Blevins and Stephen Bryan. In February of 2023, Mooresville police told Wish TV investigators looked everywhere for the trio but could not find them. Since they are a small department, Mooresville got help from Indiana State Police and the U.S. Marshals Service to search beyond county lines. More charges could be filed against anyone who helped hide Ryan and Blevins. Chief Buckner is not sure how long they were living in Bloomington for.
It kind of indicates to me that they've moved around a little bit. This may just be where they moved to. Because, when you're on the run, you don't want to stay one place too long.
Deborah Ryan asked the Indiana Court of Appeals to reverse the lower court's ruling that awarded custody of Stephen to his father. The court has not yet made a decision in that case. Adam Pinsker, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and follow us on Facebook for updates.
Now to a busted break-in.
From the information I've been told, they pretty much did everything but say, good morning, officers, we're here to break in Beech Grove Firearms.
That's the owner of Beech Grove Firearms talking about the break-in at his store early Friday morning. He shared security video with us that shows people climbing over a fence, wearing ski masks, carrying what appears to be bags and bolt cutters. Police quickly arrested 18-year-old Tyrone Bonner and two 17-year-olds. The store's owner says the younger suspects have sent a letter of apology. The break-in comes just more than a year since another theft. Police say in that case, 3 men rammed the building with a stolen pickup and stole nearly $30,000 worth of guns. New research shows that tampons may contain arsenic and lead. That's according to a new study by the journal Environmental International. Researchers say they analyzed 30 tampons from 14 tampon brands in the U.S. and U.K., both organic and non-organic. They say all of them had concentrations of at least 16 different metals. Authors of the study say while most people are exposed to low-level toxic metals, using tampons could put women at a higher risk for exposure. The authors say the metals could have been absorbed by the cotton in a tampon or could have come from antibacterial agents. They also say more research is needed to figure out how this could affect women's health. A jury is seated in the trial of Alec Baldwin. The panel will decide whether the actor committed a felony in the movie set shooting that killed the cinematographer and wounded the director. Baldwin was holding the gun. He contends it fired accidentally when he pulled back the hammer. The bullet hit Helena Hutchins. Baldwin is a producer on the film. Prosecutors say he failed to keep the set safe.
He didn't check it. He didn't do any of the things that he was supposed to do to make sure that he was safe or that anyone around him was safe. And then he pointed the gun at Helena Hutchins and he pulled the trigger.
The film's arms expert is already convicted of involuntary manslaughter and sentenced to 18 months in prison. We now know the plans for US 31 and the pedestrian project in Marion and Johnson counties. INDOT made the announcement during a meeting at Southport Library yesterday. INDOT will install ADA-compliant sidewalks and curb ramps along the stretch of US 31 from County Line Road to Thompson Road. The state says the work will also include drainage and signal improvements on US 31 and Shelby Street. The construction is scheduled to start in the summer of 2026. More people now have a view of Indiana's possible electric future. INDOT held a public meeting last night about the plans for the state's electric vehicle charging network. The Global Village Welcome Center on Lafayette Road hosted it. Current plans call for Indiana to have at least 500,000 charging stations by 2030. It's called the Charging the Crossroads program. Funding comes from the 2021 federal infrastructure package. The current expansion focuses areas of the state where there are few charging stations available.
And so a lot of our locations this year are in some of those areas, such as north central Indiana, where we have a gap, and we're looking to fill those in with our second round of awards.
INDOT is holding 2 more meetings. Ivy Tech's Kokomo campus is hosting one at 11:30 tomorrow morning. The other is next Tuesday, the 16th, at the Green Activities Center at Vincennes University. It also starts at 11:30. Now to today's business headlines. Jane King is at the NASDAQ in New York.
So the Department of Energy loaning $1.2 billion for a lithium battery plant in Indiana. Now the company is called Intech, and they will make battery separators in Terre Haute. These separators play a key role in the performance and safety of lithium-ion batteries. Well, a federal watchdog appointed to monitor the United Auto Workers' internal operations is probing some new allegations against President Sean Fain, including saying that he made demands to benefit his domestic partner and her sister. The Wall Street Journal reports those actions would have amounted to financial misconduct. Now, the allegation is among a handful of serious but unverified claims that the Monitor is investigating related to Union's management, according to a court filing. And the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau slapped Fifth Third Bank with a $20 million fine for allegedly forcing auto loan customers to buy unnecessary car insurance policies, and in some cases repossessing their vehicles when they defaulted. Employees at the Ohio-based bank also illegally opened fake bank accounts for roughly 35,000 customers without their knowledge or consent. Now, Fifth Third said that its unauthorized bank account practice happened to a limited number of accounts between 2010 and 2016, and the bank said it voluntarily discontinued the auto insurance practice in January of 2019. Well, the average American spends more than 1,400 hours a year feeling tired. A survey of 2,000 adults looked at how they deal with their symptoms of tiredness and found that respondents feel tired for 4 hours a day, and nearly a third feel tired, even more than average. And in fact, a third of those surveyed always or often still feel tired even after a good night's sleep. This was conducted by Talker Research for MD Live, and the survey found 58% of us feel tired often enough that it keeps us from enjoying life. Well, the S&P 500 climbed to another record yesterday. The Fed Chair Jerome Powell warned about the dangers of keeping interest rates high for too long. He will be back on Capitol Hill today for more testimony, and ahead of that, we're slightly higher. Live from the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King.
This has been your News 8 Daily. From Wish TV, I'm Hannah Mordeau. Watch us on wishtv.com and follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.